What will happen if we start reading others' minds? One cannot deny the fact that no enjoyment can compete the enjoyment of exercising power. But at the same time, power corrupts, and absolute power corrupts absolutely. So there always remains a paradox of exercising power and its adverse effects. Mind reading is a power, and it has no exceptions from the paradox of power. It has both the bright side and the dark side. So if you are interested to know about the consequences of mind reading, then don't miss this episode. Hello and welcome to this episode of Random Thoughts. Before starting the video, please subscribe to our channel so you will get notified when we upload the next video. Mind reading is a power, but have you ever thought of the effects of this power? What would happen if all men had the ability to read the minds of other men? Have you any idea? Of course, you might have many ideas, explicit or implicit. Most of us would answer the question that it would have been good if this ability had been in the possession of men. Mind reading would exterminate cheating. There would not be the possibility to cheat anymore. As such, all complaints regarding cheating would have been suffocated. Through mind reading, there would not be anything like hypocrisy and guile. Everyone should have to be straightforward. Don't you think that if it were so, all our dictionaries would have words of only positive connotations? Literature would be without complex and intricate characters, because literature is the mirror of society. When there would not be such characters and events, then all the characters of the stories would be simple and straight. There would not be the surprises, and this lack of surprises, some of you might think, would decolor life. There would not be enigmas and riddles. All the facts would be like a well-done sum. There would not be the concealments. All of our matters and affairs must have been sort of geometrical shapes. There would not be any fool, and no one can fool others even if they tried their best. We won't have a word like secret. Nothing could be secret, and all the affairs and matters were silver and exact like a mirror. Hatred sustains most of the time if it remains concealed. But at the revolution, it mostly gets alleviated. So we can guess that with the power of mind reading, we can kill the emotions of hatred. Wrath could not grow in one's heart like a poison tree. As Blake has said in his poem, "I was angry with my friend, I told my wrath did end. I was angry with my foe, I told it not, my wrath did grow." All our relations with one another are very complex in modern times. This is mostly because we don't know what others do and what others want to do. Everyone lives in his own confessional-like box. If this screen of ignorance could be removed, we would have better relations with one another. These are some of the assumptions we might make having the idea of mind reading, but this is not the entire picture, as we have said that there are always some adverse effects of power too. So now we discuss what might be the dark side of this coin. If men could read the minds of each other, then it might be possible that all men would have lost interest in other men. Because our interest in other people is due to the diversity in their nature. When there is no variety, there would be nothing interesting in people. Everyone would be like all other men, and this monotony would have killed the beauty of life. Mind reading can minimize the extension of life. There would be no hopes. And it is hopes which lift life and extends it. Most of our relations are based on hopes with others. For example, marriage. We marry in hope that he or she would be with us at every turn of life, both in prosperity and adversity. Think for a moment that if you could read the mind of your would-be spouse and he is not trustworthy at that moment, then it would kill the possibilities to be together. There would not be compromises, and this can make situations worse. Concealment provokes us to compromise, but if everything is clear, then there could be no compromises, which has been proven to be a very constructive action in relations and affairs. Punishment will be given at will, not at actions. A criminal mind is one thing, but a criminal action is another. Punishments are only given at actions because this is the embodiment of criminal thought. A mere criminal thought has nothing to do with society unless it is revealed in the form of action. A criminal has opportunities to give up his criminal thought and avoid the consequences, but when his thoughts are read, he could be punished at his will only, and this can be the cause of anarchy, both in the psychology of an individual and in the psychology of society. There would be no remorse, no feeling of guilt, and no opportunity of repentance. On one hand, it might be good to nip the crimes in the bud. But on the other hand, the anarchy of destruction of the individual as consequences is obvious in this matter. Wars also will be generated at the will and not at the attack. Many of the countries of the world are enemies of each other. For instance, India and Pakistan, Iran and Israel, America and Russia, Yemen and Saudi Arabia and Iran, etc. But they do not attack and invade each other because there are many concealments of intentions among them. And the most vivid thing is that they avoid attack being ignorant of the plans and strategy of the other country. If one of the country read the minds of the other, the avoidance of the attack would be lost, and that war which could be avoided would not be avoided. And before the country that has taken intention to attack would get attacked by the other country. So in this way, mind reading will open the doors of war for such countries who generally avoid war. There would also not be such fertile and diverse literature in the world. What remains enigma is revealed by literature in a very enigmatic way. But when there will be exactness like mirror, this mirror of society will lose its brightness. If minds could be read, then there would remain no need of human sciences. People will be at the verges of two extents: the misanthropy of life without the blood of passions, emotions, and desires. Life would be monotonous, and this monotony will instigate humans to commit suicide on account to get rid of life, like a mathematics equation. There would not be any sort of poetry. Poetry is to recover the experience of the life by a person who involves his own desire, emotions, and thoughts in this recovery. When there is mind reading, there would be straightness, while the relation between poetry and reality is always oblique. So this straightness will exterminate poetry. People want solutions, not the equations. They are very different things, and only solutions suit human beings. So mind reading will always remain a paradox. We should move towards solutions, and mind reading is not the solution, it is more like an equation. Human society and human desire and hopes will suffocate in the clutch of this power. This is the random thought that we thought. Now, let us know what you think. Do you want to read your friends' or relatives' minds? Please let us know in the comment section of this video.